Welcome to Now Serving a Site of Therapy, a client's introductory guide into the therapeutic world. Be sure to follow, subscribe, and comment on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. To schedule a therapy appointment, call us at 650-223-5065. For more information on this and other related topics, check out our blog at isotherapy.com, where you can also contact us through our website. I'm your host, Dalton Huckabee, a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm grateful you've joined me.
Is just being in community, and we're lucky that one of the things that we've never stopped providing are community events, training and education, like lumps into one, and peer support groups. So peer support groups, we do. I don't know if I mentioned this at the beginning, but we've always operated in a partnership model. So originally our partners were the Daly City Partnership, Star Vista, Peninsula Family Service, and Outlet. Currently, we're only our Outlet is our only partner, but Outlet is an organization based in Redwood City whose work specifically supports LGBTQ plus youth 10 to 25. So they're doing really great work. I invite you to invite them on your podcast sometime too, if you have the
Thank you. I would
opportunity
definitely
to.
reach out.
Yeah. But we've always done this partnership model to ensure that because we have great knowledge as a team, but we wanted to work with more Outlet is specialized for youth. Peninsula Family Service supports older adults. So we always operated in this partnership model to make sure that if we can't provide the answers, we have a partner that's really specialized and can support with needs of the community. So that being said, we host peer support groups with Outlet. There is a LGBTQ plus youth peer support group, Cutie BIPOC, which is queer, trans, Black, Indigenous people of color. That's a group too. They also offer a youth trans group. And the groups that we offer are 18 plus. These are just some of the ones because we have a bunch of them. So we have a polyamory group, we have a trans group that meets every month, LGBTQ plus parent group, queer women, gay men's group, book club. Maybe I will just name them all because they're all kind of tattooed in my brain.
They all sound great.
Yeah. We started a crafting and community group, and then there's this thing called Queer Peers, which is just like a general group for folks that are 18 plus that want to connect with other LGBTQ plus folks. So all of these groups are offered virtually, they're free, and they're peer led, so anyone can drop in.
Marilyn, I'm going to interrupt here a little bit, and do you remember the Lavender Group back in the day? Like it was like a kind of an organization. I think it was also nonprofit, perhaps even kind of state sponsored. I'm not sure, right? But it was the Lavender Group was like a place where people could go and find out different resources, and they would hold all these like different support groups and things like this. And they were all over from because I used to live in San Francisco Bay Area for 28 years, and so they were like in Berkeley and a couple in Pleasant Hill even too, right? So they were like in these different areas, but they had all these different groups like you're talking about. And I was just wondering, since you've kind of lived in San Francisco for a while, if you remember Lavender Group.
I don't remember Lavender Group, but that sounds incredible that there was a resource like that would travel too, because I'm sure before there's LGBTQ plus centers in a lot of cities in the Bay now. So that's awesome that was offered as a resource.
Yeah. And so that's what I think it may have even kind of fallen, right? But again, the idea is like, hey, there's always going to be, other people just trying to pick up the baton, if you will, right, to kind of continue that message and offer that support.
Yeah, and the great thing about our groups is you don't have to be based in San Mateo County to attend because they're virtual. They're open to anybody that wants to join. We've had people that have come in internationally for some of our groups. We have people
That's
that come from
awesome.
all over California. Yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, if anyone is interested in joining the groups, they're open to anyone that wants to hop in.
Yeah, it would definitely spread the word. And and I know if I have a client that might feel like, could benefit from your services, certainly will let them know about you guys as well, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the other great things that we offer, like the other anecdote or antidotes to what's happening, is training and education. So these can be offered hybrid, virtual, on-site, but these are yeah, it's training and education. If you want to learn about pronouns, if you're new to that and just want to learn pronouns 101, if you want to learn SOGI, which is sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression, that's something that we offer too, which is kind of like an LGBTQ plus 101. We have a trans training, trans 101. We have an implicit bias training. But these are all open to whoever wants to learn more, or if you're already, or if you're at the beginning of your allyship or advocacy journey, these are a great place to start. The trainer, Ishani, is great. They can work with you to tailor the training to what your needs are as well.
Nice. Yeah, there's even like I like this idea of like when you say kind of like even networking with other providers in the community. Like we had Cora on, if you're familiar with Cora, right, for domestic violence and or intimate partner violence. And they too also they have a an LGBTQ plus focus as well. So it's great to see, these different organizations kind of still supporting the community from all these different aspects, right? Like I love that, Pearl, you were saying earlier that like, hey, do you need help with housing? Do you need help with this? Or do you need help with getting your proper clothing fit, right? Like really just trying to address like what those needs are might be for the client and how we might be able to support them. And like you said, even though if, okay, well, maybe we don't offer that service, maybe we can, refer you to somebody else that does. So that, and I think that's really at the end of the day, you guys, like, I'm thinking that that's what's the important message here is that there is help out there, right? Because again, just going back to my own experience, right? I was like, this was before internet, right? I'm dating myself, right? But this is before internet, before cell phones, right? And so it was like, where do I go to get help? I had to look in the phone book. You know what I mean? It's like, so and so sometimes people might not know where to go to get that support. And so the fact that you guys are, busting your butts and doing that hard work to get your name out there and trying to have your services accessible so that people know where to go. Again, hats off to you guys.
Yeah, I think it's a part of it is just recognizing also that people are queer, but that's not their whole identity. Like like you mentioned Cora, right? They experienced IPV, they experienced housing instability, they experienced like social isolation and cultural pressures from family, from whoever. And so just our being able to partner with different organizations helps address every part of who they are and not just one. And I think that's really important
It's
when you're working
huge.
in mental health. Yeah.
Another thing is people aren't just LGBTQ plus. Queer people like fun, queer people like together. So we have some great programming coming up.
Oh, what do you
Yeah,
guys got coming up?
yeah, I can share more about it. So, we started this series called Out and About. So it's our way of exploring the county that we live in. The first one that we did was at Laurel Street Arts, and it was like a paint your own ceramics class. We're doing another Out and About next Tuesday at Pinstripes in San Mateo. So it's bowling, and we're gonna do another one in May. We're finalizing all the details, but we'll share information about that on our social media when it's finalized. So we do these gatherings throughout the county. They're all free. We're having a game night next Wednesday too, or no, in 2 weeks on April 22nd, at Peninsula Books in Daly City. I'm gonna teach mahjong. I don't know if anyone's interested in that, but so we do game nights. That's really fun. In May, we're doing this event called Rage and Release, a queer community exhale. So, because of all of the turmoil, all of the stress, everything that's going on in the world, we just thought it would be a good idea to gather everybody in the park And there's going to be punching bags. We're going to make stress balls. We're going to
Why do
do
I
art
have to live in
together.
LA when all this is going on, man? I wish I
Yeah.
could be there for that.
Yeah, we're just gonna let it all out together. We're gonna have a big catharsis, and we're gonna be together, and that's what we need right now.
So what is your
And
social
then
media information? Like you said, if you're posting it on your socials, like what's that information if people wanted to follow to get more
oh, sure.
information?
So our Instagram is at San Mateo Pride, all one word. And that's the most current uh-oh, did I freeze? I froze. Okay. That's where most of our current information is right now. Yeah, and then the big event that's coming up is Pride. It's right around the corner, which is hard to believe because I feel like the year just started, but
Exactly.
yeah. So in about 2 months, on Saturday, June 13th, is San Mateo County Pride. It's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. in San Mateo Central Park, and that's where it's been held. That's where it's held.
Nice, nice. Well, I know you like you guys are saying like unfortunately with the changes, right, not being able to offer kind of therapy services directly, if I understood correctly, right? But so like just kind of putting that out there, right? For opportunities for us to kind of like continue to kind of collaborate and network with others, right? Um, Zoe is our head of as our director of marketing, right? So we can see if we can have her kind of share that information, right, for you guys, even on our socials as well. And like if you happen to have clients and are kind of privy to knowing like, oh, they're under the HPSM insurance, right? Like we do, that's the majority of our clients. So we are able to offer individually, like with family and couples and individual as well. And so we have two offices, but also some online, so a little mix of everything. Yeah, yeah. Um, but that aside, all of those community events sound like so much fun, right? And and again, I just can't help but think that, like, especially as you know, any of us, right? Any of us kind of going through distress or challenging times, we all need those moments where we can just kind of like chill and unwind in a safe space and just have fun. Like that's so important for our mental health.
All of our events are, like I said, they're all free, and they're all sober spaces too, which I know is like really important, especially if you're trying to find folks. Because, or in my experience, for a long time, a lot of the gatherings were at bars, and that's not always what I want to do, that's not always what I wanted to do. So it's great that these are sober spaces, and yeah, they're free.
I'm
And
thinking like we've just been through a lot the past year and we're excited to come back like bigger and better and we've
Can
learned a
you
lot
expand on
from
that a little bit? We've been through a
yeah, I
lot this
mean
past
like
year.
just
Can you
losing
expand
our
on that?
physical space and you know going through the year under the administration that we're under and you know hearing out our clients and our community and adjusting to their needs that are always changing. We're excited to bring, you know, to improve, consistently improve our programming. We're excited to find a new space. And, you know, we just launched a survey and got all this great feedback on what people want to see from us. So we're taking that to heart and hopefully building a bigger and better space and coming out of a rough situation and making it way better. Drop. I think we've always just anticipated like how can we reach more people? How do more people know about us? I think sometimes when we, like I don't do outreach as often as Marilyn or some other folks on our team, but sometimes I'm like surprised that people don't know about us when we used to be right down the street and like how do you not like you got to know about these great services that we have that are just available. Everything is expensive nowadays. Everything costs so much money and it's just yeah, and we're just offering a safe space and a place to be yourself and to not feel doubt or shame or guilt. And yeah, we're proud and excited to offer that and more and better in the coming years. I don't know, Marilyn, if you had anything to add to that.
Yeah, I would add that it is definitely hard to not have a space, and it was a bummer because that was our first home. So there's a lot of memories and like a lot of good ghosts and a lot of good spirits in that space. So that's rough, and there's not a consistent space that people can visit. That's where we hosted all of our events. That's where all of our resources were, and that was just it for a long time. But being able to be all virtual has its benefits also because we're able to people can hop in from wherever they are. People can be driving home from work and they're like, actually, I want to hop into this peer support group. They can do that. Clinical services can be like, they can be online too. It feels like there's a world of possibilities being online that if in a world before COVID, maybe we would have just been on site, and that's cool, but it's awesome that there is a pivot and we can reach more people.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Definitely some advantages to the advent of telehealth for sure. And like you said, kind of like having information even more accessible. Right. Especially if someone's at home and they're like in their teen or a kiddo, right? And they're like, oh, I don't drive. I can't get out to these, right? My parents surely aren't going to take me, right? Like whatever's going on for them, right? So being able to chime in online is a huge benefit for sure.
And the accessibility piece too. Our space was great, but there were parts of the center that weren't accessible. So being able to offer online, even with like closed captioning as an option, is really great as well.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you guys taking out time of your busy schedules to be able to, talk about how we can support the LGBTQ plus community, right, through these fun, free, service community events, but also through services in different ways of whatever kind of some of the needs that they might be looking for resources for. So again, can't speak highly enough about the guys, about the work that you guys are doing, that your team is doing. And so I appreciate your time and being here today.
Thank you so much for having us on. Yeah, love hearing more about Izzo as well, and looking forward to collaborating with you in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us. It's great to meet you, and yeah, I hope that there's more opportunities to collaborate in the future.
Thanks for tuning in this week. Be sure to listen to our next episode as we explore various aspects of how to show up for ourselves and others by tending to our own mental and emotional well-being.